Parsnips and carrots. Has anybody here grown parsnips? Ooh, a few hearty souls. All right, okay. So parsnips are a little bit hard. There's a few reasons why. One is because the seed does not stay viable very long. So if you're going to grow parsnips, you need to have fresh seed. It's also very slow to germinate, and it takes a really long time, like 4 or 5 months or longer, to harvest your roots. So what I've done is I have pre-sprouted my seeds, and I just put them in this potting soil, and I just pat the seeds on there. And then once they sprout, as soon as they sprout, just when they have those 2 little leaves, you know, you've always heard you're not supposed to transplant roots. It's not good to do that because they don't grow straight and then they get stressed. So I just wait until they just sprout, and then I can move them into my prepared soil in my garden. And then I know that I have 100% germination, and I've also, you know, I don't have to worry about watering those seeds in the garden and keeping them moist so they can germinate. I just do it in a small container and then just transplant. And you know, of course, you're going to get 1 parsnip for 1 seed, just like carrots, so you've got to plant as many as you think you're going to want to eat. And then 4 or 5 months later, you'll have some parsnips. So if you're interested in parsnips, they really like to grow in the cold weather, and you want to plant them in the fall and then let them go through a frost. It's the frost that makes them so sweet. It converts the starches into sugars, and then harvest them you know, in the spring. And this parsnip on the left, this was grown out at Boggy Creek Farm, where they have a real, like, kind of real sandy, kind of a sandy loam, and I mean, you had to get a digging fork out. They were beautiful parsnips, much beautiful than the ones these were the ones from my garden down here, but they grew beautiful fat parsnips, and you had to get a digging fork to loosen them from the soil, because if they're grown in that kind of soil, then they send out these kind of wiry roots that just, you know, they're really hard to pull up. You really have to dig them out. And then I did just put a picture of my husband Bruce in. He's usually here, and he is the one that takes almost all of these pictures, so I just wanted to give him a shout out and thank him, because he makes the presentation so much more interesting because of the pictures. And then a little bit about carrots and colored carrots. The earliest carrots that were discovered were purple or red or white in color. And then in the 1700s, that orange carrot was discovered in Holland, just a random mutation. And then the Dutch took that orange carrot and they just bred all these orange carrots, and I guess they had a really good marketing program, because then that's what that's what became the popular. It replaced all the other colors, and everybody was just eating and growing these orange carrots. But now there's kind of a return back to these, to the colored carrots, and those colored carrots that have the purple and the red skins, they have phytochemicals in them that are good for us. So if you want to grow some purple and red carrots, there's lots of different varieties out there. They can be kind of hard to grow because most of them are the longer types. So if you don't have good deep soil, it's hard to grow. But I'm going to show you a way that you can do it, and that is to grow them in a pot or in a container. I've had a lot of success doing this because I live in southwest Travis County on a rock ledge, and I have to dig a hole with a rock bar. I mean, I can't really dig a hole in my backyard. I do have a garden now that I've been, where I've been gardening for 20 years there now. So in my garden area, I've got pretty good soil, but if I get down pretty deep, I hit rock. So anyway, I started growing these longer carrots in these containers, and it works pretty good. Anybody here from Jefferson County? Y'all know Paul Iyer, and this is his. Yeah, so this is, if you have a garden like Paul, where he has been building his soil for years, and it's about this deep, that's him on the left there, and he grows, that whole bed of carrots, that's in Paul. He's the engineer, with the straight lines, and everything's perfect. But anyway, so if you have that kind of soil, then yeah, you can grow those long carrots. But if not, you might want to just experiment with doing some in a pot, just for fun. And it's a great way for kids too, because you're just planting. That's kind of hard to plant carrot seeds. They're so small. So if you're doing it in a pot, then it's just kind of a confined space, kind of like square foot gardening. It makes it a little bit easier. And then there's always going to be a few duds. You know, I have my niece-in-law, my nephew's wife, is a pediatrician. It is so funny. She says they're gardening. They have 2 little girls, and I always say, you know, what about carrots? What about potatoes? What about beets? And she goes, I'm afraid of things growing under the ground. And like, I kept saying, what do you mean? Finally, I realized she was just saying, I don't know what's going on underneath the ground. I can't see them. And that's why she's, you know, she has finally grown some carrots, and they got potatoes last year. So, but I guess that is kind of, you don't know, but that's kind of the fun of growing something, a root that grows in the ground, because when you go out to harvest, it's so much fun. You don't know what you're going to pull up. And then what are you going to do with those parsnips? Well, you can roast them, braise them, glaze them, mash them. You might want to try some of these, aromatic spices like cumin, coriander, and cinnamon are really good complements to that. And I saw this recipe. I braise them sometimes I'll cook them with a little bit of like pancetta or bacon, and then put some apple cider in to braise them. But I also read recently a recipe that just said to mash them with apples, and it's kind of a savory apple parsnip sauce.